Hello everyone, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing all the mods that are in SpookyJam 2017's roster. Now there's a total of 6 mods which go all the way down there, as you can tell. So without further ado, let's get into the mods. Our first mod up first is the Kelpie mod, which I gave the title card as the Terror of the Sea. You'll see what I mean by that. So first, you'll see that we have 2 spawn eggs, both spawning a horse. But one of these is clearly not the right horse spawn egg. Now, if you've been playing Minecraft for a while, then you should already know by now that this is the wrong horse egg. This is the right one. If you don't believe me how this is wrong, yeah, this is the wrong one. So, what does this horse do exactly? Well, it will spawn at night, and if we go over here by a lake, it'll look completely normal, just a regular horse. But if we were to go on it, you'll see that we cannot get off, and it will go into a lake. Now, obviously, the only way to kill it is just by, well, traditionally killing it. And it doesn't drop anything on death, and it's overall just a mob that you should be watching out for. Now, obviously, this isn't a really good example, so let's go over here and show what happens if, in survival, what happens if we were to go on it. Let me just first make sure this is on, and let's go. So as you can see here, if we click on this horse, we will start to drown. The only way to get rid of it is by killing it. Meaning, you better hope you have something OP, so then you can survive, and well, just barely survive. So, that mod is just pretty simple, and there's not much to it except a mob that you should watch out for. Now, if it was far away from water, it does actually a unique thing. Let me just first set this to peaceful so that I can heal everything back up. Or just... I forgot the command, but that's fine. We'll wait till... What are you looking at me for? So, now we're here. It's a bit different if they're farther away from water. If you were to go on one, it would kill itself while also trying to kill you, which is very strange. Which is how it works. It is based off a legend from, I think, Scotland. I don't remember. I haven't checked the mod out in a while. But that's pretty much it for the Kelpie. It's a nice mod. Nice little ambient horror. You just gotta watch out for any horses you come across. Even though, considering nowadays, I don't think anyone wants to just get on a horse randomly. Next mod. The Merciless Slaughter, which is CTD Twickery. Now this mod is very fun, and you'll see why. Now, of course, we have a very unique armor set and a diamond sword. I already have my own, so I don't need to take that out. But, if we open up this chest here, we're first going to need is a candy container, which is crafted with 5 string and 1 pumpkin, as I show you now. Doing this creates you a candy container, which gives you an advancement. Now, putting it in your offhand, you now can begin the actual mod. Now, obviously, you're going to need a costume. So, obviously, you're just going to want to take off or get any kind of armor. It does not matter what armor it is. I think the better the armor, the better the buff is. And now you're ready to trick or treat. Now, you're going to need a sword for this. And as you can see from all these villager spawn eggs, I'll show you how to start. Get a villager, and then you're just going to want to kill it, and then you'll be able to obtain a candy. which, as you can see here, is pretty nice. There are multiple kinds of candies, and there's achievements for getting for a certain candy. But right now, I'm going to turn on peaceful so I can actually show you how to do it without being under threat of being killed. So, if we eat this, it's just a candy. No status effects, but it's pretty cool because you just place down a villager and you just kill them, and you get a candy. So here are the different candies you can obtain. Obviously, they're divided. You can obtain a rainbow airhead, a regular airhead, a chocolate bar, a chocolate peanut butter cup, a triple decker Oreo, candy corn, hard chocolate candy, and sucker pink and sucker teal. Now, the thing with these ones is to get their achievements, they are a bit farther down the list, and you will not see them when you get the achievement for getting the candy container. You can obtain a lifesaver, a starburst, a Swedish fish, and nerds. So let me show you the advancements now. Right here at Twicker Tweet, we have the standard achievement and all these achievements. And my favorite achievement out of them is people like this shit, which I find hilarious because I like candy corn, but I know some people do not. Anyways, that's it for CTD Twickery. It's mainly just a fun little trick-or-treating mod. As far as I know, that's pretty much it for the mod. So let's move on to our next mod, the Doot in the Night Trumpet Skeleton. This is a pretty small little content mod, similar to Kelpie, which summons... Oh, I totally forgot that it was in peaceful. But as you can see right there, it summons a Trumpet Skeleton. And he's just a skeleton with a trumpet. And it actually plays a cool sound effect. Oh. Okay, new thing discovered. You can get candy from killing anything, I think. That's pretty cool. But as you can see here, pretty much you just get a bunch of trumpet skeletons. And every time you will go into like a main menu of sorts, you will be able to hear a trumpet noise. And it's really cool. And a rare chance from these skeletons is you getting a trumpet. Now, for some reason, it's not in the creative menu. I checked. But as you can see here, you get a trumpet. And obviously, it's going to use your ability. So it's pretty funny and pretty goofy. Oh! It also can make armor stands jump. That's cool. I think it can make any mob jump. Oh! Okay. So it is a very nice weapon. Clearly, you're going to be dealing with dangerous little guys who will try to do that. Now, there are some funny enchantments that can be put on this thing that, personally, I did not know until I searched the just enough items menu. And the first achievement you can put, or enchanting on it, is Unbreaking 3, which is pretty standard because most things have Unbreaking. Next one is Mending, another standard thing, but definitely curious thing. The weirdest of them all, Curse of Vanishing can be put on a trumpet. I don't know why, but those are some helpful enchantments if you ever want to keep a trumpet. Alright, our next mod is the Horrors of the Night, SpookyCraft. Now this is what I think one of the biggest mods that we have, and there are lots of things to get started with. First, let's open our first chest to obtain this thing called the Arcane Encyclopedia. This is pretty much your little guide for the entire thing, having candy, pumpkins, and skeletals. So we'll start with the treats. So as you can see here, there's a lot of things. We'll get to this later. But the first thing you can do is if you kill these new skeleton mobs, which you'll see, hold up, getting interrupted by these skeletal creatures, as you can see here, you'll be able to obtain candy corn. And it does it, you can just hit them and they'll drop it, I'm pretty sure. Next thing, as you can see above here, is glass string. Now, as far as I know, this thing doesn't do anything. It's completely useless. But it is still something pretty cool to have, I guess. Next is a chocolate bar, which can be obtained by putting milk, cocoa beans, and sugar all into a crafting table like so to craft chocolate bar. pretty standard crafting recipe for crafting chocolate, and I think it's a nice little feature. Now, onto the candy bag. Now, this thing is OP, because if you go into survival mode, and you were to consume it, it does this cool thing. It gives you a whole lot of status effects, such as Regeneration 2, Absorption 4, Resistance, Fire Resistance, and Saturation 4, which is very OP. Now, how do you get this, you may ask? Well, look no further, friends. This is how you get it. First, you're going to need to get a skeletal pig, and this is only to show you because I'm not waiting for this. And you need is a lightning strike to hit. So first, we're going to start by putting our little piggy in here. And this is not, you don't need to use this, but all you need to do is do this simple command, or wait for a lightning storm, and just hope, since there's no lightning rods in this, just hope a skeleton pig gets hit. So for all y'all wanting to know the command, it is /summon lightning bolt, and you will summon the Skelly Warrior, which is a wither skeleton with a golden sword and the mysterious candy bag. Now, obviously, this guy, he's just a wither skeleton. Now, this is why, if you paid attention, or I probably don't even think you noticed it at all, but I have a looting 3 diamond sword, because this thing is not gonna drop all the time. If I go into, let me just do this at a distance. If I go into survival mode, and I try to kill this thing, as you can see, it won't exactly drop it immediately, but it will drop its other drops that a normal wither skeleton drops, such as coal, bones, and of course its little hat sometimes. This is, remember, this from CTD Twickery, because I still have that candy bucket. So let's make a bigger little thing so that we can hopefully show me getting it on camera. Now, there's one thing that I probably won't do in the other mods because of the chance of it, but it will happen. So let's summon a lightning bolt. So then we have all these little skelly warriors. So let's kill them all, and let's see if any of them decide to drop. So we're using a looting 3 sword, meaning you'll have a better chance if you get looting 3. And as you can see here, 3 dropped. Obviously, this is a rough estimate, so we'll just say 1 out of 3 Skelly Warriors will drop a candy bag. Now, I also got 2 Wither Skeleton Skulls, which is super rare. So yeah, the looting 3 enchantment, I recommend you go get that before you actually attempt to get it normally. And honestly, we haven't even touched on the other stuff yet, because I was busy doing this. So now we touched on that. Next thing is pumpkins. Ooh, look at these. Now, if we grab a pumpkin and we grab a torch, if we start putting pumpkins down, you can see that they'll be random faces in standard 1. And of course, putting a torch in will light them up like a jack-o'-lantern. Now, there's one thing this mod states. Pretty much, to survive a night, you will need to put a pumpkin on to survive. I don't know what happens, but I'm assuming something bad will happen if you don't put on a pumpkin hat. So that's a heat of warning for anyone who downloads that mod. Put on a pumpkin hat, or else, yeah, you're dead. Alright, and the last thing the mod is the mobs. There's a bunch of mobs here, so let's take out our first batch, which is the standard overworld mobs that you'll see pretty much everywhere. So pretty much, there are a bunch of skeletal versions of mobs. So we have a skeleton chicken, skeleton cow, skeleton pig, skeleton sheep, and a skeletal rabbit. Now obviously, these guys, they look cute. They're not gonna attack you for no reason at all, right? Until night strikes. At night, they are incredibly vicious. Ooh, no. At night, they are incredibly vicious, and they will start attacking you. So be careful when traversing the night. This whole mod's purpose is to show you that the mobs you killed are back for revenge. So that's a little warning. Just be careful of what happens when you go out exploring at night. So that was our first batch of mobs. Here's our next batch. Our next batch is a skeletal bat, skeletal parrot, skeletal ocelot, skeletal wolf, and a skeletal llama. For some reason that did not render in, but you get the point. Anyways, they're just skeletal little things, so obviously, just don't be chilling out at night. Now, one thing that happens in this mod is that if you have a pet, yeah, they're gonna come after you. If your pet dies, then they will come back as a skeletal form and try to, of course, attack you. Jeez, annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much it for our skeletals. So let's move on to the more niche features of this. So if you take a skeletal cow and a bucket, you can milk it. Jeez, I don't think it's working right now, but you get the point. Because you can get a bone milk bucket if you milk one of these things. And then just put it in here, and then you get bone milk. Sounds so wrong. And the cool thing is, if you take a glass bottle and you chuck it in there, you got a bottle of bone milk. If you drink it, it gives you jump boost 4, absorption, and strength 2, which is a cool little feature that it has. So that's it for those niche features. And the last thing of SpookyCraft is the Scarecrow. These guys appear, like, I think at night, and they're just scarecrows. And they walk like that. So of course, they're dangerous. And they'll give you wheat on death. So it's pretty cool. And that's it for SpookyCraft, which is our largest thing. So now that we're done with that, we're on to our last two mods. Haunting Dreams, Nightmares. This has no relevance to it, it just thought as a decoration. Now, every 5% every night, you will have a nightmare. And these nightmares can range from very disturbing dreams. And it's really up to you whether you want to do it or not, but it will happen. As you can see here, there are 3 mobs that can spawn in this mod. Got to put these away. Whoops. A hag, a shadow person, and a phantasmic spider. First is the hag, which has a lot of health, a lot of damage, and every time you have a nightmare, there will only be one of her. Now, it's pretty standard, and that's pretty much it. She does a lot of damage, but luckily there's only one. Next is the shadow person. These guys spawn in 1 to 2 things every nightmare. And they have lower health and lower damage, meaning you can still fight them, and you still be able to beat them. Last are the phantasmic spiders, which can spawn in groups of 1 to 8 every night. Every nightmare, I mean. And honestly, they don't do a lot of damage, but due to the amount of them, they can be heavy hitters. So you should definitely be careful with these guys, because they are not to be underestimated. And that's what I meant by I couldn't do it, because it has a 5% chance, and I would have to do this a lot of times. But you would get the point. Alright, our last mod, Lands of Mystery, Spooky Biomes. Now there are 2 biomes that spawn in this world, which is a Witchwood biome and a Ghostly biome. These biomes have nice little things, and as you can see, I've been using their wood for this entire build, and they're really cool. I like them. And that's it for the mod. But there's one thing as in this mod that can spawn. The Forgotten Warlock. This guy is basically just a skeleton on steroids, pretty much. pretty much shoots arrows, but he's pretty weak on his own, so you can just easily beat him up. Unfortunately, however, I do not know how you summon him. So there's not much I can really say about how you get these guys, but I do know they can spawn in the spooky biomes. So go check those out. Get back here. No. One cool thing about this Forgotten Warlocks is that they can actually fire at zombies and skeletons, which I find pretty funny because I think bro is not evil, he's just trying to survive. Anyways, that's it for the SpookyJam 2017 mod lineup. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And I will be doing more, and I will be doing my own gameplay of this entire mod. So I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.